Scotty, thanks for joining us at everblackmedia.com. How are you tonight?
Good. Just finished up drum teaching, and I'm starting to do some vocal tracks for some new White songs. So in this time of life, we're trying to take advantage of what's happening and just still be productive. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. I mean, I'm glad that you're in there and being creative. I can see you're in your drum room there.
Yeah, man, my teaching room. I'm the only one allowed in here now, so it's kind of empty. But yeah, it's just me in the room. It's cool, but yeah, it's what we have.
Well, of course, your band Trace has just released your debut single, White, and it's gotten a lot of support from people online. And it says two things to me, man. It's a great song, but also that grunge is still as popular as ever. Are you feeling that as well? I mean, even especially from kids that weren't around when grunge was at its peak or that style, those bands and those has carried on, and I think you guys have really captured that essence perfectly.
Thanks, man. Like for me, it's never really gone away being a fan of that stuff. You know, we're old school, metalheads, old school grunge. We bought the CD because we heard one song on the sampler from Kerrang or Hot Metal, and we go and buy the CD and we'd listen to it back to front and fall in love with just deep tracks, all that kind of stuff. And Iron Gland of Dirt is Tom Araya screaming. It's like that shit is just awesome. So we always loved it. And then it's that double-edged sword of the fact that it's good that all these bands that we grew up with have the avenue of the internet to relaunch their careers, or they haven't really gone away, but it's kind of given it new vigor, new lease on life. And so like people are finding Alice in Chains when they release Rainier Fog, and people are finding Stone Temple Pilots because they got the new singer in, and I reckon he's an amazing singer. Therefore they search the back catalogue through Spotify, and that's when they go, holy shit, this genre is amazing. Or people are finding Pantera for the first time and all that kind of stuff, or Tea Party or anything really. That's the beauty of being online these days. You've got that at your fingertips. So yeah, it's been really cool, and the feedback we've gotten from White and the songs we've played live and that has just been that real consistent saying of that it's grunge, it's heavy, and it's definitely got that Alice in Chains vibe, because we purposely went about having dual vocals when we first started this off and wanted to both try, because I've never sung before. I've always wanted to sing for the last 20 odd years and never had the confidence to do it. And then Chris didn't really make me feel afraid to give it a go, if you know what I mean. He kind of embraced the fact that I was new, so I was kind of raw, and therefore that energy was brought into the vocals and the melodies, and I didn't really follow a rule book on how you're supposed to sing or all that kind of shit. So having a bit of freedom from that point of view helped him, and he helped me with the experience he's got. So yeah, it's like going back, just that resurgence of the music, and it's curtain lanes, like, what is it today? Yesterday or the day before, it was their anniversaries for their deaths.
It was, it was.
Yeah, it's pretty shit time, but it's good that, the music's still relevant to today and people are still finding it. So it's kind of cool that people are finding that influence in our music, so we're stoked.
Is that a talk box at the start of it?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't think. No, it's not. It's not a talk box. That's right. It's the thing you stick in your mouth. No, that's because we don't have a bass player. So Chris is using an octave pedal and a fuzz pedal. Cool. So he pretty much just went nuts on the fuzz, and then it was basically just we wanted to start the song off just this bit of a cold engine starting. Like, where's this kind of going? What's going on? What's going on here? And then the way we were writing it, we couldn't keep the song the same pace as that intro. So the idea was Chris kept the pace slow, and then when I came in, I sped it up just to give that extra energy to give the song a boost, and then the woo comes in and we're off, I
love it. Yeah, I was trying to pick it. Like, it's got that guitar tone and I thought, is that a talk box? It's got that sort of wah that, it's very distinct.
There's no wah? It's just, there is wah. Sorry. Yep. So I'll see.
Yeah.
Is shit. Yeah.
I just yell
Chris
shit.
Will so what do I go? Oh man, it's this and it's this and it's this. You should have rattled off these pedals. Oh, sorry, man. Sorry, Chris. Yeah. I'm a drummer. I look at the pedals and go, cool.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
the song is actually it's quite a personal song about dealing with depression and suicidal thoughts and substance dependence. I can imagine it was a tough subject to lyrically flesh out for the first single, and I definitely admire that, like going straight out of the gate. Why did you guys pick this song to hit the ground running with?
It was just because of the vibe of the song. Like we've got plenty of other songs. There was another one where we had like a list of 4 or 5 songs I think we were going to choose for a single, and we just kept playing them to friends and playing them back to ourselves and like listening, like watching people's reactions live, and then we were like playing around with song positions and sets as well. So White wasn't last initially. Frey was last. It was a really slow melodic like Bohemian Rhapsody kind of build song, and then we put that first and put White last, and the feedback from that, people just really just erupted at the end and got right into the song. And then every time we played it, friends would just start doing this, just nodding their heads to White and really getting into the vibe of the song. So we wanted something energetic for our first single, because no one knows who we are. Like, we've been around for a while, but no one cares when you're in a new band. You're brand new when you're in a new band. So we didn't want anything where kind of people like hanging back, waiting for something to kick them in the arse. So we just thought, fuck it, let's just give them something like gutsy to start. And regarding the lyrics, we didn't really think that we should hold back in regards to, we can't put this song out because it's sensitive. Like we've written these songs on purpose to be like hearts on our sleeves, so people can understand that it's okay to be not okay. It's okay to be broken. It's okay to talk about it and to understand like shit gets better when it's really dark. So that, not just White, but a lot of our songs go into that stuff, and a lot of our songs have that silver lining in it. And if they don't, we kind of, well, that's just the way the song is. But one song we've written in particular is an acoustic track, which is really down and depressing. And then I wrote a second part to that song in another song, which is the end of the story, if you know what I mean. So the first part's like, it's not good. Then I've written this other track on, it should kind of show people that that story does have a good ending. So that song's really sad. Then the next song is up vibe, and it's got the lyrics of, it's gonna be okay if you just, fight for something hard enough that you love.
Love it. Yeah. And of course, you guys formed in 2017. How did it all come together?
Yep. Just happenstance, man. We were working together in bands, just doing session work, and honestly, man, we had been, that HMB, Emergencies Bar, all that kind of shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure do.
Like, Chris and I had seriously walked past each other that many times and never noticed each other. Like, we've been in the same circles since 2001 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it was just ridiculous. And then we just happened to converge a few years ago in these bands we were doing session work for. And we just gravitated towards each other in regards to, we wanted to do something for us. Like, I was starting, because I hadn't found anything for years. I was just doing session work, hadn't found original bands. So I was going to actually do my own thing, like learn guitar, sing, drums, and just do the Dave Grohl first album kind of thing, and just put the feelers out going, does anyone want this or whatever? And Chris was kind of like in the same line. He was doing it like his own solo stuff, and he wanted to pursue that more. And we kind of melded his idea into the idea I had, and that's where kind of Trace came about. We just kind of kept converging through these like little session jobs we were doing to, we all of a sudden found out we wanted the same idea, to all of a sudden we went, hang on, let's connect and let's jam. And then we were different versions of the band as well. Like we were a 4-piece at one stage as another name, and then we formed Trace officially, and then we were a 3-piece, and then we just went, screw it, this isn't working, and went 2-piece. So we went from writing one song in 6 months as a 3-piece to writing 6 songs in 1 month as a 2-piece. So we just knew that chemistry, when we finally got together, it just clicked, and it just made sense.
In regards to that, I mean, no bass player, it's just the two of you, as you just said. Have you been tempted to add more members now that you're getting going? Like, or are you happy to keep it the two?
I think I think it's a future thing. So, like, if we've got a to-do list of 1,000, it's probably 999. Like, it's down there. It's not going to be an ad in the old time off next week kind of thing. You know, we're pretty happy how it's going. Chris has got a huge sound in regards to what he's worked on really hard with his pedals and
absolutely
gain and all that kind of, you know, knobs and shit. Whereas, you know me, I'm a heavy hitting drummer, so people know I'm hitting the kick drum when I'm playing. So, and I tend to follow the root notes of the guitar. So that's following a bass line, if you know what I mean. And the feedback from shows has been not once has someone gone up, oh man, it'd be better if you had a bass player. They haven't really noticed at all. They've gone, holy shit, your sound is massive. Like, how the hell do you do that? And I hit hard, he plays hard. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, bass players.
Yeah, I know, right? 4 strings. Get over it. But it's something for the future. Like, we use a lot of backing track effects in some of our songs. So, you know, the idea is, depending on the evolution of this band, and get a bass player in, get a percussionist and all that kind of stuff in and all that thing. You know, it's things on the list, but it's not priority at the moment because everything's just clicking as a 2-piece. And it's making the sonic sound that we're looking for.
And you know what it also means? More of these ones for you.
Yeah.
So you don't have to share these. No sharing.
Like the bring back's cool, but the outlay's fucked. we got to, Chris. We're gonna do a CD. All right, we should start saving. When are we gonna release it? 5 years from now. Okay, cool. We should be right. We should be right as a 2-piece. We can do that in 5 years. No worries. That's the only setback. It's just that disposable income's not as big as a 2-piece.
But, yeah, but I mean, I guess travel as well. I mean, there's pros and cons to it, but I guess.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in regards to that, do you find it easier, or there's certain challenges when it comes to the actual writing and recording process as a 2-piece?
I guess the discussions we have are like, we've had heated discussions before about stuff, and it's just like being in any other band, really. It's just got less heads to deal with. But I've never really thought about, oh, maybe we should have another person here, like, giving us a different point of view. Like, we're pretty solid in our thoughts and our opinions of the songs we bring in. Like, I might bring in a song that's got a guitar part, and I'll feel a bit nervous showing Chris like a guitar section, because I can play a little bit enough to get the idea out, and then it's on him to kind of make it his own. So that makes me nervous to bring that in. But I don't think that's any different than if we're a 4-piece or a 5-piece or whatever. I think it's just still the same discussions, you know. It just probably doesn't take as long with me and Chris now, but I still reckon it takes just as long anyway, because we're really passionate about the story we want to present with Trace, and we've got like a really cool set of, not rules, but we've got a really good, clear pathway for the band, which is like a first for me in like a lot of years. And I think that just really helps solidify how we're writing together as a 2-piece.
In regards to the new material, though, is it along the same sort of direction as White and the stuff you've already written?
Whatever falls out of our instruments, I guess. It's always going to have that heavy sound, although the other side of us is acoustic. So we did release a B-side with this single called You Must Follow, and that's just acoustic. That's me singing with Chris playing guitar, we kind of did the idea of Alice in Chains released Sap, Jar of Flies, and they did Dirt and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And that kind of light and dark of everybody was a really cool thing for us to do, because we got to, you know, pursue different emotions with acoustic and then raw emotion with heavy and all that kind of stuff. But in regards to what our new songs are coming out with, I don't know, we're always going to stay deep rooted in that kind of old school grunge sound or heavy sound. And it just, I don't know, it just depends on what we're either listening to or how we're feeling or whatever feels right. Like, we've got to like the song first and foremost. Like, I'll bring in a song, like a lyric or something, and it'll sound like absolute shit, and we'll both know it. So I guess, yeah, it doesn't, I don't know, it just whatever comes out. Yeah.
What are you recording at the moment? Is it like an album or an EP or another single?
We're going to do another single, just
Hmm.
because just this day and age of it's too easy for people to switch off and hit next. So, in Spotify, they might give White the time of day and last the 5 minutes, whereas, people's attention spans are 30 seconds and then they're off to the next thing. So we always thought if we were to release an album, I reckon like 1% of it might get listened to, especially being a new band. So we just wanted to kind of give them bits, like little tasters, appetizers kind of thing, and get people interested, get our toe on the door, get some people giving some positive feedback in regards to our influences and what it sounds like. So the next thing will be a single, and then it's from there, it's like, EP, acoustic EP. Album isn't really, we're not really thinking about an album yet. We're just, doing the single thing, like old school single stuff. They used to do a song, then a B-side. I've still got Pearl Jam, Jeremy colored disc single at home. Fucking awesome with yellow Ledbetter on it.
I just
One of
love
the best
that stuff.
songs. Yeah, one of the
Yeah.
best songs ever. So yeah, that's kind of like the plan we're doing. Yeah, single, another single before the end of the year, and then maybe like an acoustic 4-tracker, and then something next year. That kind of thing. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, I can't wait to hear what you got cooking up. But let's go back in time to almost 20 years ago. You and
Fuck
I,
you,
I'm going to bring this up. You and I were in a band together almost 20 years ago for a minute. And wow, man, we kind of lost touch over the years. But I mean, your journey as a musician has taken you all over the place. So, in between that time as a musician and your journey, how did it lead to Trace?
Oh God, playing the front bar at Chardon's Corner with I Play Dead. I have no idea. I still got one of those shirts at home, man. Like I think we had a glow in the dark
That's
shirt
right.
as well.
That's right.
With a dead body on the front.
Yeah.
Like I look at it now and just go, oh my God, what the fuck were we thinking? That's awesome.
I don't know.
It's good to look back on it. It's like I started in a metal band. We were terrible, but we had fun. I have no idea. Like the only thing I reckon, like what changed was I couldn't really land myself in a band because I was just a bastard to work with back then. I was super focused. So I went from metal to prog metal to pop to rock to 6 months in the country band to rock to covers and metal again and then grunge and things. And so I think all those different styles kind of didn't lead me to just sticking to one style and just staying metal drummer the whole time. And then I started getting drum lessons from Grant Collins, and he showed me a whole other side of drumming, and that kind of explored my mind even more in regards to what type of music I wanted to do. And I just kept dotting around. I was in a rock band, Each Revolving Door, for like years, and that was like the pub rock kind of thing and fall to the floor kind of stuff. And it was fun, but I always had this little reservation in me that I wanted something different. And then, I was in another band for a while, and that faded. And then it's like, I just started dotting around, like looking for work, and I couldn't find a band that I really enjoyed listening to when they sent me stuff. And then that's when I started thinking about wanting to do my own thing. And that's where it led to, I was saying before, Chris and I just happened to meet again, that kind of thing. And it all led from there. So that's 20 years in like 2 minutes.
It's crazy, isn't it? I was only thinking about it.
I do have video of you, this skinny little runt, that tall. And wait. Here's the floor, and that's you. That's you. This dude with like weird hair, and we all dressed up and did our I Play Dead show.
Oh yeah, it was.
So I can dump that video down for you a minute and chuck it up if you want.
No, it's okay. You know what would be all right? If we take it out into the middle of the country, we dig a very big hole and we bury it and burn it forever.
Yeah, it's in the house. It's at home. I know where it is. It's all good. Yeah. I'll get you around I'll get you around to watch it after I've made a copy, because I know you want to burn that original. So,
you know how to bribe me now.
Yeah, I've got that. It's got Dogger and Wes in it and all that kind of
Oh, man, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, he was wearing a Hawaiian shirt on bass, and I don't know what. I was probably wearing boxer shorts or something. It was just, what a time to be alive back in the day, and still now.
Yeah,
we're still in music in either form. We're still doing our thing.
Absolutely.
which is like a testament to the fact that we've got music in our blood and we can't get rid of it. No matter how much I've tried, I've almost turned my back on music before about 10 years ago, almost quit, and I just couldn't do it. Just something kept driving me to keep being a drummer, lugging all my shit, gig after gig.
She's got you, hasn't she? The old
Yeah.
married to the music.
Hell yes.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, I remember you being a Dream Theater nut even back then.
Yeah, still am.
Still, yeah. But how are you with that now? Are you going to be incorporating some of the proggy stuff into Trace?
Oh, I think that's just instilled into my playing in some way now. Like I've been playing drums for that long. It's just my style is me. Like I'm hoping someone picks up what I do now.
Mm.
But I've seen a few people. This is going to be me big noting myself for a second, so be careful. I've had people coming up to me going, "Oh, I can see like a bit of Portnoy in you," which is, half the drummers that know me will just laugh their ass off right now after hearing that. And then I had another couple of people come up to me and say, "No word of a lie, say we can see like a Danny Carey influence in you," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, bring it on." I think I've been listening to that music long enough and playing along to their songs and all that shit.
Yeah.
There's just kind of, it pops out in my playing every now and then, like maybe the way I sit or the way I hit a 16th note or something. But yeah, it's not overplaying anymore. I served the song, which is back in the day. I wanted to just put everything into the song, and it was the first 30 seconds, that kind of stuff. Might not work in Brisbane at Chardon's Corner anymore. But yeah, so with Trace, it's kind of like I'm serving the song. So if the lyrics are there and it's a melody, I'll peel back and then I'll bring my stuff in, because we're a two-piece, so there's got to be, it's not saying the songs are boring, but, we've got that bit of creative space to put a bit of stuff in. So like in White, before the solo kicks in, I do this big call and answer Dream Theater-y fill. So there you go. There's my tip of the cap to them and our single. So have a listen and you'll hear this fill and go, "Oh, what a wanker."
No, but I love that stuff. I love that stuff too, actually. Back then, I wasn't a big fan of it, but over the years, and you helped me introduce me to some of that stuff by
yeah, you're welcome.
playing in the car.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So you go.
now I was just gonna say, have you got plans to hit the road in the new year once everything blows over and it gets back to normal? Is that on the cards for you boys?
Yeah, well, it really just depends what we're not in control of, doesn't it? So that's my feeling of unease. Like, we've got this single. It's just such a bittersweet, amazingly shit moment that we got to release this single I've been waiting to release for 12 years, and Chris has been keen as hell to release it. Then this shit happens and no dice, we couldn't do a show. Our show is actually, when is it? We're supposed to be, I think, 2 weeks from now. So we're going to do a single launch. We're actually going to do 3 of them. One invite acoustic show, and then the Brisbane one, then a Gold Coast one. We had it all sorted, blah, blah, blah. So I think at the moment, we haven't really talked about it, but before all this shit was getting real, we were thinking of delaying it till the end of the year. But I'm thinking, because it's going to be so much of a traffic jam for shows, everyone's going to be looking at like big ticket item shows like Carnival reschedule for October or November or something. So why would you even bother in Brisbane around that time if you're wanting a big crowd? Because everyone's going to want to converge to that in that space, like, obviously. So yeah, you're right. It's going to be like heading into 2021, because I think 2020 is just a big fat write-off in regards to getting out.
Yeah.
So we're just going to put our heads down, and like when I feel a bit better, because I run a couple of businesses, so things are like day to day. So when my head's a bit clearer, Chris and I'll sit down and just form a new game plan, and it'll be like either a double single release, or we'll release White live, like at a show or whatever. So there's options. That's the cool thing about this band. Like, we've got a really clear idea, which makes it really easy to work with. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. And, I hope everything really works out for you guys very, very soon. And
Thanks,
we
man.
get to see you play down, especially here on the coast. I mean, I'd love to see you guys down here at the, maybe even play a show with us.
Yeah, man.
Who
Like, we
knows?
were going to do minis with Beast Machine, so it's just going to be loud. So bring it on.
Yeah, yeah,
And
fuck
I'm
yeah.
hoping after, like I was saying earlier to you off the recording, is like I hope this brings in that bit more camaraderie. So like back in the
Yeah.
day when you and I were, you know, chicken wings, little whippersnappers, it was a lot of camaraderie back in the
Yes.
day. And it's like this is kind of giving that opportunity some effort to get out the front again. So it's like you go to a show. I always tried to do that back in the day when I organised shows, but bringing that idea back, like you just don't put pop bands on a pop show. Like you try and, if you're doing a CD launch, give people something different, like
Yeah.
metal, rock, acoustic, grunge, that kind of stuff, you know? So I'm hoping that kind of opens some doors to people just talking to other bands and going, screw it, let's just have some fun and do some shows.
Damn right, man. Damn right.
Yeah.
Well, dude, thanks again for hanging out on the show with us. And the new Trey single, White, is out now everywhere. Stay in touch, brother, and stay safe out there.
It's one beer interview. I like it.
It's hey, there you go. I should have called it that, eh? Well,
The one beer interview. There you go. Patent pending.